listening to All Chiefed Up.
Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another live podcast for that ass. Happy Thursday.
Happy camp day.
Happy day 2 of camp. This is pre-camp camp.
Pre-camp camp.
It's pre-camp camp.
It's not miniature camp. It's not rookie camp. It's not camp. It's pre-camp camp.
It's pre-camp camp with more passing camp right here, baby. Hey, I'm glad to see it, though. I'm glad to see some football back. And look, they're going to do it one more day tomorrow. Then all the guys are going to be funneling into St. Joe. And then next, I want to say Sunday, they start practices to the public. So it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a fun time.
Mike, Julia wants to know, where's the horn level right now?
What are we talking about? We talking about just Chiefs in general? We talking about specific players?
Just horn level.
Look, I would say my horn level on a Blue Chew scale of 1 to 10 is probably right around about a 6.5. Like, I just want some football. When preseason gets here, I'll be creeping towards the 8. Kickoff, I'll be just
full
at
horn
at a 12 or a 13.
I see. You're semi-horn right now. Yeah. Appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with us today. Hit that like button for us real quick. Helps us get out to more people. Mike, let's talk about what they did today at camp. I know I saw a lot of things about Louis Rees Zammit going around.
Louis Rees Zammit is he's this year's Justin Ross, and I think it may be Justin Ross on steroids.
Well, what's the horn level for?
People are loving it. The
Louis
horn
Rees
level
Zammit.
for Louis Rees Zammit throughout Chiefs Kingdom is like a 47 on a scale from 1 to 10. It is up there. But look, the dude, I mean, he's fun. Like he's out there. He's taking snaps today. We've got him. He's taking the snaps. He's going through the coaches
snaps.
like butter out there.
That's all he has to do. He just has to be there and take a snap.
Yeah, he's slicing the coaches up like butter, baby. Look at him. Look at these trash can drills. He's killing it. But look, after the practice, though, is where he had his fun. It was on the mic. Louis Rees Zammit on the mic was fun today. He talked about several things. This is the first thing, because I don't think you got to watch any of it, Steve, so you're going to react to this for the first time. He said he was asked what a successful rookie season would look like for him. And he says, first goal is to just make the team.
Yep.
Special teams is going to be massive. We've said this. Just learning the playbook and running back roles, pass protection, learning my routes off of that. That's basically what he said. So his basic rookie, he's going to call it a success, Steve, if he just learns the running back position and learns how to pass protect, learns that playbook.
We've been saying it since he got signed, Mike. He has to learn how to play football.
Right.
He's a rugby player. So
do you feel like, though, he's that comfortable with just that? He's not saying, well, he did say he wants to make the team. That was one of the first things he said. But at the same time, he just wants to learn. So do you think he feels comfortable? He's been told maybe, we're not going to let you go anywhere. We're probably going to keep you around. We're going to give you a few years to develop.
I don't think he feels comfortable. I don't think they've told him anything, bro. I think he's trying to earn his spot. I mean, this guy literally doesn't know anything. Just a little bit that he knows. He's trying to learn more, get better. He's putting in the work. I don't think anything's getting handed to him. He's going to have to earn it. So now, with that being said, I do think that special teams is going to be the route for this guy.
Yeah, 100%. So he was asked, how many hours do you spend learning the game? And he said, right here at camp, we're not finishing up meetings till 8 p.m. I probably go to bed by 10. That's an extra 2 hours just learning the plays that he spends. He says, I'm playing catch up with a lot of people that's been playing football since they were little kids, 6 years old. There's no time to rest for me. I've got to give this my all because ultimately this is my dream. And to make it come true, I got to be a step ahead of a lot of people. He says all the right things, Steve. Zammit is he seems level-headed. He seems very, grateful for the opportunity he's been given. And, I mean, he says he's working on this playbook night and day, and, this is his goal. I don't think he's going to have a problem grasping that playbook. I really do not. I think he's smart enough, and there's enough help. He went on to say that the running back room is very cohesive. They're tight-knit. He said the quarterbacks like Patrick and Carson and Chris, they're all helping him learn it. So I don't think there's going to be any problem. I think the problem for Rees is going to be that, what is it, football chemistry, that second nature. When Kelsey runs a route and he knows something's off and he just kind of knows Mahomes and he knows how to go and he just knows the game. Yeah, it's the intuition, I think, is what he's going to be lacking this season. But everything else, I think he's going to be fine.
A lot of muscle memory he's going to be lacking. There's a lot of different things that he's going to be lacking. Like he said, these guys have been playing the game since they were 6. He's just now starting. At least they sent a really good PR guy with him over from England, you know? They're telling him exactly what to say.
Yeah, they're telling him exactly what to say. We got this one coming up, man. He was asked about running that 4.43 40, and he says this: I was running way quicker than that, my man. I didn't have a great day. I was running high 4.2s or low 4.3s, and it came to it, and I just couldn't get my legs moving, to be honest. Steve, he can't get his legs moving, and the dude's chunking off a 4.43. Like, let's talk about how fast this cat is. This is insane.
Right. I don't think it's unheard of speed. I think there are other guys in the league that are faster than him. Now, speed-wise, so the thing that gets brought up all the time is he was clocked at 24 miles an hour, right? So how many guys in the league have been clocked at 22, 23 miles an hour?
Well, maybe, but you don't think it's impressive that he said he was running 4.2s? That's what Xavier Worthy ran, and everybody had a freak out. And the dude's 160 pounds.
No, I get it. I'm not saying the guy's slow by any means. That's his thing, man. He's fast. We know that. Just the speed alone is not enough. Like, he's got to be able to put everything else with it. I think he will be able to do that. I think with the attitude he has, the work ethic he has, my thing is, Mike, it's time. It's not him. It's not anything. I just think, does he have time to get it all together? Because I feel like, relatively, he's not been playing football for hardly any time at all. If you look at the last few months or whatever, he's really been putting in a lot of work. Obviously, I will say this, though. I think that he's been working at it a little bit longer than he's letting on.
You think? You think he was working on it a little bit before he even come over to Florida to the program?
I do.
It's possible.
I mean, if you're a fan of football and you've been watching it.
His dad was in the sport. I mean, I would say there's times that they just went out in the backyard and he was showing them things. You know what I'm saying? Like, rugby, by the way, a lot of similar stuff. I get there's a lot of differences, but a lot of similarities. A few more things about what he said in the press conference, and we'll move on, talk about some other guys. Louis Rees Zammit says, when asked about his anticipation of his first contact in game, he got excited, Steve. He got horned up. He said, "Ooh, I'm excited. I can't even talk like him." He says, "I can't wait to see the difference. I get that question all the time. What's harder, hitting in rugby or in American football? And we're going to find out. Rugby is bone on bone, but we'll see what it's like with the pads on." Steve, when he said bone on bone, horned. You can't be pressing pins out here. You bone to bone. What are you doing? I love it.
I've already seen bone on bone in our chat between Kathy and Julia talking about how good looking Louis Rees Zammit is.
Yeah, there's some bone on bone.
I see y'all over there. Don't be hiding. But
hey,
no, man, I think it's going to be cool. It's definitely going to be interesting. I think Louis Rees Zammit's probably the funnest story of camp, right? Like, that's the best one to follow because it's the most, like, I guess it's just completely unpredictable. You don't know what you're getting with the guy. You have a hell of an athlete. He's got a good attitude, and that's really all you know right now. So, I mean, once they start hitting, I think we'll find out more. Here's my thing. So, since he's going to be like the camp darling, he's going to be the big story for most of Chiefs Kingdom. Are we going to get like real, actual, raw feedback during camp from coaching staff and other players, or are they always going to be like, man, Louis Rees Zammit's great. Like, he's getting better. Like,
yeah, I don't know what you're going to get. But I think the reason people are kind of, like, pumped about him is because there's an obvious need in that running back room. I think a lot of people see, right?
Yeah.
McKinnon was a fan favorite. Like, there's no lie about that.
Not anymore. They sold out on him quick.
Well, he's gone. So what are you going to do? But Zammit is kind of like that new replacement. Like, they want that. They crave that. And I think it's fun to watch. Last little thing that Zammit said today that we're going to highlight here was he was asked what he's going to, what he thinks about meeting Chiefs Kingdom for the first time this Sunday when they get to come to practice. And he just said, "Oh, I know they're crazy for the Chiefs." So he did say he played on some really popular teams with some popular fan bases, so he's probably used to it. But, Steve, has he seen anything like Chiefs Kingdom? Like, it gets buck wild trying to get in and out of those practices.
I want to say no, but now I do know that like soccer fans are like ridiculous. I don't know how I don't know how rugby fans are. Like, I don't know if there's any comparison there. But no, I think it's definitely going to be different in a few different ways, and I think it'll be enjoyable for him though. I really do.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a good time. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys being here. That's we're gonna talk more about Lewis.
Lewis?
We're gonna talk more about Louis Rees Zammit. Hey, let's just add those two names together. Oh,
You do it. You do it all the time.
I do. I say it really quickly. I'm supposed to start calling him Reese Lightning. But we're gonna talk more
LRZ,
about
baby.
him. We're gonna talk more about Jared Wiley. He hit the mic today. We're gonna talk more about all the stuff that happened. Xavier Worthy had a big day. But anyways, appreciate you guys being here. Hit that like button. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. And
Oh, it's so loud. Make it stop.
let's get it going.
Whew, that
Steve
thing was
out here
jacked up to 100, wasn't it?
Woo, Steve, you were horned with the horn.
Horn level 200. Horn level Julia and Kathy.
Jeez Louise.
That's what I was. But anyway, now that the horns, my ears stopped ringing.
go.
Roboito El Diablo. LRZ or KT, Mike? You can only pick one.
Oh, I can only pick one?
Yeah.
So we're just going to assume they're battling for the last spot on the roster. Well, I would say then KT probably done something stupid. So I'm going to go ahead and just take Zammit.
Just to see what you got.
Just see what I got. I know what I got with KT. I've got like a guy that maybe or may not want to focus on football. And
Like, it's funny because the question at first is just like, what kind of a question is this, Roberto? But then you start thinking about it and you're like, well, they're kind of the same. Whereas the fact, like, you don't know what you're going to get. You have no idea. Like with KT, are you going to get the guy that is, recording a new album and is hurt every 2 seconds? Or is he going to get out there and be one of the most dynamic receivers in football? I don't know. It's like throwing dice. LRZ, you don't know what you have with him because you haven't seen it yet. So, I mean, I see the similarity in that aspect.
I already like LRZ's work ethic a little better, I think. I like the attitude better.
Man, yeah, I've said this before about KT, though, but we always bring that up, or a lot of people bring that up, like, what is his work ethic? Because we don't know. He's so, like, hidden.
Private in a
Yeah,
way.
like, I don't, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not sheltered, but just, like...
He's sheltered. He's a poor man.
He does it to himself. He's always, like, lurking in the shadows. Like, I feel like he don't want to be in the spotlight.
You notice he's always, like, speaking in riddle, too. He's like, don't be talking about my name like that. Or he'll be like, I'm done with you. He's cryptic. He's a cryptic man. Okay?
Very cryptic.
And we appreciate it, Roberto El Diablo. Steve, before you get to the next one, I got to get to the over here to X. Our boy Daniel on X says it's almost 1 a.m. here in the UK, and you woke up the entire house with that horn. Daggone, Steve, you horned them up all the way in UK.
I don't know why it has to reset to the loudest setting every time. Like, if I
Why
don't
is there even a setting that loud?
I don't know. It goes
Like
louder
that.
than that. You want me to do it louder?
No,
I can
please,
do it
God,
louder.
don't.
We can go 100%
Don't do
louder.
it. Daniel, appreciate you watching. Appreciate you watching on X, by the way. That's fun.
Let's try it now. Let's see what it sounds like now. There we go.
That's a nice, reasonable, horny level.
That is. And we got Mike with the 2 bomb. Appreciate you, Mike.
Let's go, Mike.
And we
Appreciate you,
also got Rob Miller with the 5 bomb. Says Ross makes this team over KT and more. That's a opinion.
Justin?
Yeah.
That's an opinion, Rob. I'm not going to knock you. I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like that's a tough opinion. I don't know if I could get on board with that one. We'll see.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people think this way, Rob. And like sometimes you have to put like what you feel aside and look at like what the Chiefs are going to do. And they have shown they're not really going to use Justin Ross. They're just not going to do it. I think this could be the year where they're like, all right,
We've
bro.
said it from the
Yeah,
beginning.
it's one of two. It's one of two things. They're either
Right.
this is the year where they're like, hey, whatever, experiment over, or this is the year where they're like, hey, you're getting more snaps, you're getting a bigger workload, make it happen. Like it's got to go one of two ways, but you know that they will continuously put KT and Sky Moore on the field if they're available.
Yeah, 100%. But I appreciate you finding that hill, climbing to the top of it, and planting that flag.
Oh, there's a lot of people with him, bro. There's a lot of
know.
people with him.
There really is. I get it. KT's not very liked, and Sky Moore, people's off the bandwagon after 2 years. They're not there.
They're
But
never.
Ross has had, 2 years?
I don't think anyone was ever on the Sky Moore bandwagon.
Look,
Do you think
that's true.
I was thinking about that. Do you think some of the hate of Sky Moore is not only that he's underperformed and hasn't been what people thought, right?
It's because we didn't take George Pickens.
It is. I think it is.
George Pickens. I bet Sky Moore sends George Pickens boxes of poop in the mail 24/7.
dude.
He's like, you've made my life hell over here.
It is. I think everybody was so horny about George Pickens,
It's a
and then they went and
fictional-
took Sky Moore.
It's a fictional pipe dream that has killed Sky Moore. And you know what? Sky Moore did it to himself. And then Dave Tobe. I think Dave Tobe was in on it.
It's a possibility. Oh,
Let's
Davis.
go. Appreciate you, Rob.
Davis Tobe. Got a 5 bomb from Daniel. Appreciate you, Daniel. Thanks you guys for the
Daniel.
support, by the way. Y'all put some legendaries in the chat for everybody supporting the channel here. And we got 2 more from Roberto. It says, can't make chew with the crew, but be there in spirit. Man, that sucks, Roberto. Ooh. It'd be good to meet you, but appreciate the support, my man. We'll have fun for you, that's for sure. And then we got our boy Justin Flanders with the 2 bombs. Says, my wife gets pissed off when she hears the horns. Is this a good thing or a bad thing, Justin? Because we can help our boy out one way or the other. It just depends. You just have to let us know.
His wife pissed.
Well, it depends. Maybe he likes getting under his skin.
Happy wife, happy life.
But what has she done lately? Like maybe he wants us to hit the horn.
Maybe he wanted to go out and have Mexican dinner, and she made him eat a bologna sandwich.
See, it could be a lot of different things like that, man.
Then he would 2 bomb it again and say, hit the horn.
Hit the horn.
Safe to say Justin's wife's not horned today. She's not horned up like the rest of us, you know?
Oh, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see, man. Michael says Sky isn't used right. More slot as he gets open, drops for a fluke. I kind of agree with this take, and you will get attacked for this take, Michael.
Steve,
I will.
You've been saying
just
this for a
just
while.
so you know. But yeah, I fully agree with that. Now, is that ever going to happen? We don't know, because I don't think Andy don't want to give his guys one specific role in the wide receiver room. He wants them to do it all. So if there's only one thing you're good at, Andy don't care. He's still going to make you do everything else. So it's sink or swim. And so far, Sky Moore's been sinking. So we'll see how it goes.
Andy wants a jack of all trades.
Yeah, he just likes them to be a little.
After practice, he wants you. You're probably washing his car. You're going to get him coffee. I don't know what you're doing. You're doing a lot of stuff.
What if the receivers, that was part of their job description?
He's like, look, Sky, you had a bad season last year. You know what I'm going to do?
Andy's personal assistant.
You got to wash my car for a week. Who knows, man?
Daniel on X says, I'm so, seeing a lot of LRZ. Trust me, he has the potential to do very, very well. In fact, putting pads on him will make him more dangerous. He loves contact, so that's no worry. I like this take, Daniel. A lot of people don't think about that, but as being a rugby player, he's used to it. Like he said, they don't use pads. So
he said in the press conference, Steve, that they start. I want to say they said they starts hitting somewhere around 9 or 12, and that's when he said it was bone on bone. Like when you have to describe the game you're playing as we're going to hit each other bone on bone.
What's the little flag? I don't know what it is. Like Daniel, sorry, I can't. It's so tiny, I can't even tell what it is.
It's just a black flag.
No, it's not. There's a little flag. He says, I'm thinking of saying he's where he's from, so he's seen a lot of LRZ. But
oh, I can't. No, just on mine it shows black flag.
Well, that's another thing. I haven't ever really just watched a rugby game. You know, like how is the hitting? I know they hit. I know they hit hard, and I know they're not wearing pads. But are there some of the hits in rugby that you see in NFL?
I think with rugby, you don't see like the unprepared hits as much. You know, like when you go over the middle, you go for a ball and somebody just lays you out.
You're right.
In rugby, I feel like everything's just kind of straightforward. Like they do those little pitches. Half the time, I don't even understand it because instead of pitching the ball 3 or 4 times and trying to get it to the edge sometimes, the guy will just sit there and look at 4 people and just run right into them and fall down in like a foot. And I'm like, what was that about? Right. So I think there's a lot of not a lot of high impact hits in rugby, in my opinion. I feel like it's more... But just right in front of you.
I feel that way too, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't watched it enough to say that. So
yeah, I've only watched.
Kind of hard to compare
here and there, man.
Yeah,
I used to have a rugby game for PlayStation.
Mike,
never knew how to play it.
Check this out. Our girl Jan Fry Gable's in the house with the 10 bomb.
Look at Jan, just coming in.
Good to see you, Jan. It's good to see you.
Coming in hot with a 10.
It's about that time. It's almost football season, Jan.
It is.
I hope you can come to the Chew with the Crew Part 2. It was nice meeting you last time. Appreciate the 10. Y'all put some legendaries in the chat for
we had
Jan.
Fun. We met Jan. Jan, she brought some family. It was fun. Good time. Chew with the Crew coming up, by the way.
Chew with the Crew 2. Roberto says he'll be there next year. Fellas love the podcast. Heck yeah, man. We'll be there again. So we'll try to make a little tradition of it, sort of.
Dude, if we get to 100K, I'm going to take the podcast on the road, Steve. We're going to chew with the crew for like a week.
Yeah, we'll just go wherever.
We're going to chew in different. First, we'll have the regional chew. We'll chew in the Northeast. We'll chew in the Southwest. And then we can chew by cities.
We're going to eat everything.
We're just going to eat everything.
Mike, Daniel's Welsh. That's what he was trying to say.
Good job, baby.
Appreciate you, Daniel.
That's where Rees Zammit played, right?
Yeah. That's what he was saying. I guess that's why he's seeing a healthy dose
Oh,
of
yeah,
LRZ.
Okay, good deal.
Yep.
Hey, man, I love that. I like the UK too. You know what?
Do you?
I just like it all. I'm glad you guys are watching. Anything to
love
bring
it?
more people to the Chiefs.
Do you love it?
I love it. Hornt.
Heck yeah. But yeah, Chew with the Crew. Let's go ahead and talk about that for 2 seconds in case somebody hasn't heard yet. We're doing Chew with the Crew 2, so second annual. We'll be doing that on, let's see, was that April or August 7th? I don't know why I said April. August 7th. Get that little thing off the screen. I'll be able to see the whole thing. But yeah, August 7th from 7 to 9 p.m. at Zarda in Blue Spring. That's where it's going to be at. So be there, have some fun, hang out with the crew. Of course, everybody's invited. There's no kind of cover charge. We're not doing any kind of tickets. We don't care how many people show up this time. Zarda seems to be okay with us doing whatever. So, of course, it's not a catered event. Everybody come in. If you want to eat, buy your food. If you want drinks, buy your drinks. It's just going to be us hanging out, and we'll try to think of some fun things to do with you guys. We'll also have some posters to give away, so you can pick one of the posters that we have there. Do pictures, stuff like that. It'll be a good time. It was really fun last year, just hanging out with everybody.
Yep, had a good time. Hope to see everybody there.
Also, we'll be at camp on the 6th. So if you want to swing by camp, we'll be there. Don't be afraid to come up, talk to us, say hi, whatever. We will be there. So.
Well, speaking of camp, let's talk a little bit more about it, Steve.
Let's do it.
Mahomes was out there today. Mahomes and Carson Wentz. He's just out there kicking it with King Philip. Wait, what's his name? Who's Wentz?
King Harry or Prince Harry.
Prince Harry. He's Prince Harry. I called him King Philip.
He's one of those. He's one of those
like King
inbred
Philip,
people
no.
from England.
Right. Mahomes is out here. Look, Andy's like, look, Mahomes. He's like, look, see my finger? I'm going to give you the bird if you don't throw it deep. Okay? He said, throw it deep and hit our boy. And you know what Mahomes did? He did exactly that. Check it out. Little play action. Hit Xavier Worthy in the end zone for 6, baby. Look at that.
Everybody's horned up about this one on the internet. NFL put this out. PFF put this out. Everybody's putting this out. And speaking of, check this out, baby. Do you see this? You're not worthy, baby. You're not worthy.
We suck.
I'm representing today. But yeah, if you would like to do this, go to merch.allchiefedup.com. We have these shirts over there. You can go buy one. But yeah, man, it's awesome to see Xavier Worthy out there. I know everybody was concerned about the hamstring injury, right? And not getting enough time in camp. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about it. It's looking like he's out there ready to go, looking good. People's excited about it. Also, no Jared Wiley was out there today. The Chiefs, was that Sheets guy that just signed right there?
Yeah, that was Sheets. Kyle Sheets.
So, yeah, man, it's really cool to see these guys out there, see what they're going to be able to do. But I know everybody's excited about Worthy. You have to be.
Yeah, I mean, look, what I noticed right off the rip, and it may change when he gets pads on, but I don't think it's going to. That dude looks skinny. He just looks like a little toothpick.
Xavier?
Yeah, he looks like if the wind blows just a little too hard.
That's the biggest concern, right?
Boy, he does. He looks tiny. But let's hope that he's one of those guys, talk a lot of smack, but he's so quick you can't hit him. Let's hope. Let's hope Patrick don't hang him out to dry over the middle of the field a couple times. Come on, Pat. Man. It's on you, baby.
I think it'll be cool. It's just going to be interesting how Andy decides to use all these guys, because if you just say, look at the top 4 receiving targets that we know 100% are going to be on this team, that's Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce. Like, it's so interesting. That's a lot of good players, like talent, speed. There's so much of it on the field just with those guys. It's going to be interesting to see what Andy Reid does this year, especially since Andy's like, hey, stop checking down. Let's get back to get the ball down the field. Let's be that high-flying offense, that threat to score at the drop of a hat. I mean, I think Andy, if you think back to like his Eagles days, Mike, that's what those teams were.
Yeah.
With Deshaun Jackson, Donovan McNabb, those guys. And he continued that with the Chiefs all the way up until last year was very, very stagnant. And I think it rubbed Andy the wrong way, the way it did all of Chiefs Kingdom.
Yeah. I think they're going to – some guy was talking. He left a comment yesterday on one of our videos or something on YouTube, and I wish I'd have remembered it. Wish I would have screenshot it or something, give him some credit. But he threw it out there, and he was like, you know what I think's going to happen? And I was like, what? And he was like, I think the first drive of the season, Pat's going to take a couple shots down the field and try to hit either Hollywood or Xavier Worthy and
think
just
he
go
will.
deep and just try to get it together this year and just set the tone, right? So
I think that's absolutely what they're going to do. I think first game of the season against the Ravens, I think the Ravens better watch out because I think that they're going to be taking shots, man.
Let's hope.
They want to show the world right there at the beginning of the season on national television, like, we're back, we can score this fast, you're in trouble, figure it out.
Right. Yeah. Kay Wayne says, rest in peace, Abner Haynes. Abner passed away today, by the way. I got a quote. I'll read it for everybody. This dude was a legend. He played all the way back with the Dallas Texans. He says, my family and I, this is Clark Hunt, by the way. My family and I are deeply saddened by the passing of Chiefs Hall of Famer Abner Haynes. Abner was one of our first great stars of the Dallas Texans and the American Football League. In the league's first season in 1960, Abner earned Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year honors, and more importantly, he earned the respect and admiration of his teammates and fans alike. In addition to his on-field prowess, Abner was a man of courage and leadership from a very young age. He remained involved in our community as well after his playing days were over, and his legacy extends far beyond the gridiron. Our thoughts and prayers are with his wife, Guadalupe, and his entire family during this difficult time. And Steve, Abner was a beast, by the way. Listen to this. With the original Dallas Texan, the team began in the inaugural 1960 season. Haynes was an exciting running back and return specialist who owns or shares a number of franchise records, including most touchdowns in a rookie season with 12. Is it possible Xavier Worthy can touch that this year in honor of Abner Haynes? We'll see. Most points by a non-kicker in a rookie season, 72. Most points in a game, he was responsible for 30 points by himself. Most touchdowns in a game, 5 touchdowns in a single game. And most rushing touchdowns in a game, he had 4. So Abner Haynes was a monster at that position, man. And it sucks. Rest in peace, Abner Haynes. That's a legend, dude. We're losing a lot of legends. We lost Lenny, Abner,
man, we're all getting old.
Otis Taylor last year too, I believe. Wasn't it last year with Otis? I want to say it was last year or the year before.
We're just getting old, bro.
I know it sucks.
All there is to it. But yeah, Amy, member for 5 months now, she said, I would love for Andy to show more Tony and Ross. So if there is a wide receiver camp injury, we can trade whoever for more draft picks. Man, that's the thing. I feel like the Chiefs kind of backed themselves into a corner with the receivers they do have. Like, if KT's not going to work out, if Moore's not going to work out, if Justin Ross is not going to work out, the Chiefs didn't do themselves any favors last year by trying to make them look better. Like, they didn't put them in good positions. They didn't give them a whole lot of looks. Now Tony, he's kind of on his own. He made himself look bad last year. He had his worst year of football, probably of his entire career, counting all the way back to Pee Wee football. So, I mean, he's got to prove himself this year. The other two guys, I feel like, obviously we talked about Moore already and how they don't really use him the way that he could probably be more effective. And then Justin Ross, they used him sparingly last year. Like, you only saw him on the field a little bit. I don't think he got very many targets at all. So, I mean, it is kind of weird. Like, these guys with immense talent that have like a high ceiling, they didn't do themselves any favors with maybe being able to get anything in return for these guys, I don't think.
No. I do think out of those three, who do you think out of those three has the most trade value as it sits right now? Let's just say camp comes in and nobody really tears it up for 3 weeks. So who do you think would have the most trade value right now if you were another team?
Man, that's a tough one. I actually think the lowest trade value is probably going to be Ross. UDFA that had a big-time injury history, hasn't been able to do anything on a team with Patrick Mahomes. Hasn't been able to get opportunities in an Andy Reid offense. Like, I think he's probably the lowest man on the totem pole. Kadarius Toney, it's all speculation. Is he going to be able to get together? Is he going to be able to play? I think people seen him at his best. They've seen him at his worst. And then, of course, Sky Moore, second-round draft pick, hasn't really lived up to expectations, but also has only been in the league for 2 years and hasn't had the greatest opportunities in the world. If you take what they have, they did give him a lot of snaps, but once again, how was he used? You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know. If I had to guess, let's just twist the question. I'm going to put it back on you a little bit. If you were a GM and you had to take a shot on one of those three guys for your future, Who do you invest in?
The first guy I would go after would probably be, well, it would be dependent on who I am. Who am I? Which team am I?
So you think it's different for different teams, for real?
100%.
You say,
I think if
like,
you're Dallas, I think
take
it's Tony or Moore.
If you're the Bengals, Ross.
Bengals could be Ross. You know what I'm saying? Because you may want to
Right.
try to replicate T. Higgins or something. But again, let's just say all things even. I'm probably going to look at Kadarius Toney because he has proven he can do something in this league. But at the same time, I'm not going to offer no more than a 7th-round pick. And I'm going to probably try to shaft him on the contract as well. So if you don't want to do that and you just think he's going to be stubborn and he's not going to take a reasonable contract, I probably go after Moore next because I do think if put in a different situation, he could have a chance. Now, Ross, the only thing I would kind of be skeptical about, again, is like his health, the fact that he doesn't really separate all that well. He is a throw it up, go get it kind of guy, and I feel like the league's changing off that a little bit. Do you feel like they're just all trying to get shorter, skinnier, moving behind the line,
No,
Tyreek Hill?
You're watching too much Andy Reid football. I think there are teams that mimic that, like the Dolphins, but I think for the most part, teams still want that guy. And the Chiefs, they've just never been the team that wants that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever since Andy came in here, everyone's wanted, the bigger wide receiver that can get the jump ball, that you can depend on. Like, hey, just throw it up to him. We haven't really ever had that. But I think other teams still depend on that. If you look at, like the Raiders with Devontae Adams, they invested a lot of money in him. Of course, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson are going to be the two top paid wide receivers in the freaking league, But I do think there are some teams that are going that route, Mike. I think Jacksonville with Doug Peterson, they've managed to go that route, getting those shorter, like faster guys. Like they paid Christian Kirk a lot of money. They went after
Ridley for a few years.
Yeah, that Ridley.
They tried to get him back.
Right. So I don't know.
Do you think Jacksonville's still in on Brandon Ayuk?
Maybe. I don't know. I think top landing spots for him is going to be absolutely 100%.
I don't think they're going to trade him.
Commanders. No. I think the Commanders would be the top player. After
I still
that,
think it's between the Commanders, the Jags, and the Steelers,
Pittsburgh.
in my opinion.
Yeah. There might be another team out there in the shadows. You never
I think
know.
the Jets could take a flyer. They've been talking about Devontae Adams, but you think that's a smokescreen? Ayuk would be a lot better for him than Adams. Like long for him.
Adams, his agent came out and said that ain't happening. He ain't going nowhere. So
yeah, he's been adamant with that. So we'll have to see. Steve Sam says Hunter Norzad today said he brought his Lego set to camp.
So Mahomes bringing a TV and
to
a
play
PlayStation.
video games. Hunter's bringing his Lego set.
Sam, what did he say? What kind of Lego set it was?
I don't think, man.
Like Star Wars.
Who brought the Hot Wheels? Let's just make this a complete. Who brought the Hot Wheel and the little loop ramp? You know that one, Steve? Like we used to have you put it on the back of your chair, and let your Hot Wheel go. And
yeah, they still sell those things, the little tracks.
Going right, they do.
Yep. K. Wayne, member for 9 months, says invite Cole to Chew with the Crew Part 2. He said Wednesday could work. Well, this is the official invitation. Cole Darus, you can come if you want to. It's August the 7th, 7 to 9 p.m. So tell him he's welcome. I'll shoot him a DM. How about that?
Cole, we invited Cole last year and he couldn't make it. I think we did it on a Tuesday and he had a live or something. So.
Yep.
Oh, let's see. Gary, what's up, brother? He says, Mike and Steve, what do you think of Harrison Butker becoming the highest paid kicker this year? I wouldn't be surprised, in my opinion. Like, I feel like Harrison might be the premier kicker in the NFL right now. Like, there's a few younger guys that are starting to come on. And then, of course, people are going to argue Justin Tucker, this and that. But I think Harrison's kind of – it's almost like the Chris Jones, the Aaron Donald situation. Like, at some point, the tide shifts a little bit later in these guys'
Start
careers.
to pass them up,
I would rather have Harrison Butker right now. I think Butker's pretty clutch. Butker doesn't get in trouble. Butker does what he's supposed to do. Butker's a good teammate.
Balls are bigger.
Butker carries those balls around that wheelbarrow. Okay, and he's clutch. I mean, sometimes Butker misses extra points. I remember he had a season where he went a little wild with that one.
Butker's value,
but he cleaned it up last year.
Butker's value is very high. Without that guy's leg, we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. We wouldn't have won the AFC Championship. We wouldn't have won the Super Bowl the year before.
Is that something that he goes into a contract negotiation and tries to spit out. Does Andy and them buy that? Does Andy and Brett buy that, or do they just say, yeah, but we can get younger and cheaper and get better at other places where maybe we don't have to come down to field goals sometimes?
You know, that worked with Tommy Townsend or whoever because...
Right, punting.
Right, but it's not going to work with Harrison Butker. He is the most clutch kicker in the NFL. Justin Tucker, don't care, buddy. Like, so far, the only thing that Justin Tucker's done to impress me was start a fight with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce before the game, you know. I don't know. I think that Butker is the premier kicker in the league. And the Chiefs have proved that having an asset like him, like that they can depend on, everybody can rely on. I mean, kicking 50-plus yarders at clutch moments. I mean, dude, he set a record for the longest field goal in the freaking Super Bowl ever, and he basically screwed the kick up. Like, that's how strong of a leg he's got. So I think it makes sense. Mike, what do you you're looking real hard at something.
I am.
So
Ray had posted, Shannon Doherty was a beautiful woman in her days. Rest in peace. Did Shannon Doherty die?
Yeah, that was like a week ago, bro.
I mean, I'm too self-involved in Chiefs stuff. Like, I'm doing this every day, all day. I don't get time to read other news.
It was
that kind of
everywhere.
sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I remember she was battling, I want to say, what was it, cancer or something? She was battling that for a little while. Yeah, breast cancer in 2015. Yeah, man, Shannon Doherty.
Right.
I remember watching. Remember, our mom was religiously watching 90210 back in the day. Her and Jenny.
Mike,
Garth
you're taking this news hard, bro.
I mean, I don't like.
You need
Dude,
hug.
I don't. I'm one of those people that I don't know. It's not celebrity worship, but it's one of those things when you watch people a lot. It almost feels like you kind of know them a little.
Yeah, I think it's more of like.
I just don't like to see anybody do that. You know what I mean?
You're like, dang, dude.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah. Andrew says none of those guys have trade value yet. Talking about Ross, Moore, and Tony. He says at most same round pick swap. That was something I was going to talk about before we moved on, Mike. I was actually going to ask, if you were to see the news all over X tomorrow when you woke up or when have you, Sky Moore traded for blah, 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 or Kadarius Toney traded to Dallas for blah, blah, blah. What's going to be the return on any of those guys?
I think if you do anything straight up, it's probably a 7th. You may be able to squeeze a late 6th out of them, but I feel like if you start getting anywhere in the mid 6th, the early 6th round, it's probably pick swapping time.
Which is nuts, right?
You're probably doing a comp pick or something, or you just switch a 6th for a 7th, or it's wild. But at the same time, they haven't really done anything, you know.
Right.
Sadly, I would say Kadarius has done the most. That's why I said he would probably be the number one guy if you really wanted to take a shot with it. But I do think Justin Ross in certain places could be decent, and he'd definitely be more valuable than here, I believe, the way we use him. And so far, it's proven that Sky Moore might be more valuable other places as well.
Yeah. So, what value would you take? What would be worth more to you than just them getting another shot to actually hit their potential?
As in pick-wise, trade-wise?
Yeah, I mean, trade value, just whatever.
I would give up... Dude, if somebody offered me a 6th-round pick for Kadarius Toney, I'd take it all day. If somebody offered me probably a 6th for Justin Ross, I'd probably take it. 100%. You got him as UDFA, I'll take him for a 6th.
What Kadarius Toney cost?
Probably
us? A third
consider
rounder?
it for an early 7th. Huh?
Kadarius Toney costed us a third rounder, correct?
Right, he cost us a 3rd. But I mean, I would get rid of him for a 6th more than likely if I knew I could get something out of it. Again, Amir Smith-Marset was like a late 7th or something last year. But
you think a 6th round pick is worth more than the chance of Kadarius Toney actually playing top level this year?
On our roster, yes. Right now, the way we've constructed it. Last year, maybe not.
But
Kadarius should have been higher on our roster. Now that we see that he really couldn't pull it off, and look, he can still change our minds, but still, we've got way, way better. We're talking about Kadarius as being our wide receiver 5 or 6.
Right, but now here's the thing, and this is what a lot of people are ignoring, and I think it's a good thing, is that they are. Like him and Sky Moore, they're further down the totem pole now. They're not going to be thrown into the fire per se, because I think both of them, Kadarius Toney was new with the Chiefs, and they're like, here, you're number one guy. And then you had Sky Moore, who just got drafted from Western Michigan, and they're like, "Here, you're starting. You're doing everything." Do you think they will have time to kind of breathe and maybe get their footing again? And here's the thing, like, you're putting speed like Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown on the field, and then we're talking KT, a 4.3 guy. We're talking Sky Moore, a 4.4 guy, but has insane like short burst speed. Like, do you not think that all that speed spread around the field is going to open it up more for these guys? I think they could settle back in and maybe get back on the right path this year.
Yeah, sometimes too much responsibility hurts players. They're not ready for it.
I don't think either of them were. I really do think that that's a big problem with both of those two. I think they got a little bit over their heads.
I'm not under the assumption that I believe that we're going to sign Kadarius Toney back next year whatsoever. Like, he'd have to have a monumental season, in my opinion. So why not? If somebody offers me a 6th-round pick, I'm jumping on that all day for him.
For who?
With Sky Moore, Tony? I know I've got at least 2 more years that I can kind of
Tony's on that contract year this year. You don't think Toney on his contract year might not be worth more than a 6th-rounder? Because, I mean, if he don't ball out, he's
not worth more. Because why? The same way with L'Jarius Sneed. Chief fans said he's worth a 1st. He's worth multiple 1sts. He was not. Well, he was worth a 2nd or a 3rd. Why? Because once you trade for him, you got to sign him long term.
Right.
So if you're going to do that with Toney, not knowing what you're going to get, hell no. That's even worse. You're getting lower than a 6th round. Now you done talk me out of a 6th. I'm going 7th.
So something else I wanted to bring up, Mike, I think a lot of people are interested in. We haven't talked about it on the pod yet, but we did. I think you put a short out. Chiefs have signed another receiver. What do you know about him? Give us the rundown and convince me that he's more than a camp buddy.
Well, he's a Division II guy from Slippery Rock. Okay, if you don't know about Slippery Rock, I don't know. You've been under a Slippery Rock, I guess.
I don't know about him.
Yeah, you don't know about it. Division II team. Look, he was pretty dominant. He only appeared in like 50 games. He has their all-time, I want to say their all-time yards and touchdowns leader. He wasn't drafted. Saints picked him up as UDFA. They ended up cutting him last Sunday. Chiefs tried him out, brought him in on Tuesday, got him into camp. He's 6'4", 220-ish. So this dude is big. He's just as big as Justin Ross, if not bigger. I don't even know if Justin Ross is 6'4". Is Justin Ross 6'4"?
Yeah, I think he might be 6'3" or 6'4".
So he's right there with him. So again, this is the kind of guy you can put on a practice squad, and he's not going to get poached, by the way.
Right.
Somebody may poach a Justin Ross on a practice squad. I don't know.
Absolutely would.
But it's very possible.
Absolutely
right. So
would.
This is a guy that I believe if he comes in and has a little bit of a look, he catches everything. Dude's got good hands. He can high point a ball. Like, I went and it was hard to find Slippery Rock film, let me tell you. But I dug a little bit out, and the dude can flat out play. Again, it's a D2, it's slippery freaking rock, okay?
Did he not do anything with the Saints?
No, they didn't give him too much of a chance. Like, he was only in there for just a few weeks, but I don't know, man. It's just one of those things, but I think he's going to be like a guy that at least comes into camp. Now, do I think if he don't ball out in the first few weeks, he's probably going to get axed? You know what I mean? Because they start doing that weird camp shift thing. You'll start seeing the same guys picked up and dropped a lot. When they start dealing with injuries and things, they start doing stuff like that. So who knows? But it's intriguing. It's another big body. Like, that's the thing. Andy and them never draft big body wide receivers, but they'll go out and get them all the time for cheap.
Right.
Like, they'll look at the UDFAs. They'll look at these guys like this, like the Justin Rosses and the Kyle Sheets. By the way, he stepped in some deep sheets with this guy, okay? He's going to be – I like him. I mean, to me, like, everything I've watched of him, he moves pretty well for 6'4". I want to say 220-ish. He moves pretty well. He high points the ball. I don't know. Like, you could be onto something. You never know.
What was the dude's name that from Indiana that we had on the roster last year?
Ty Freifogel.
Yeah, I get that vibe. Like, not as a player, but like just kind of like that level of a player, like somebody that's going to compete. But like,
didn't Ty hit the practice squad?
I think he did. I saw up here, Mike, back to the previous.
Oh, by the way, he ran a 4.52. Because some people were asking what he ran. 4.52, we look at our roster and say 4.52, you're slow. 4.52 is not that slow. You got to remember, 4.4 standard, 4.5 is this.
4.4 standard.
Like 4.440 is like a standard fast 40.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go.
That's what I'm saying. So 4.5 is like a blink of an eye.
Yeah,
That's why arms are so important. Arm length. That's
Julia
why.
wanted to know who's more valuable between Hardman and KT right now. I'd say Tony.
Honestly, I would say Tony too. I like McCole Hardman, and it sounds like we are just McCole haters over here.
Well, let's put it this way.
I just think with McCole, he's got to the ceiling. I don't think he's got anything left in the tank. You see what you get.
That, and, Tony, he's got a reputation now. So good luck.
Right, and with Tony, you might be seeing what you get, but I think this is the ultimate year. Like, this is the year. Like, if you can't beat contract year, what you see is what you got. So, but I think you still got this year to see. And I think Hardman is what he is. He's fast. He's quick. He's going to catch some balls, but he's also going to run some lazy routes. He's also going to drop. He's also going to fumble. He's also going to be a gadget guy, but he's not going to really pick up a lot of hard yards for you if you use him that way. He's not as super reliable, okay? Like, Steve, would you have been that surprised if McCole Hardman would have flat out dropped that ball in the end zone against the 49ers? I wouldn't have been that surprised. Like,
no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, McCole Hardman does not, like, the standards are low with me. I wouldn't have been that surprised. I'd have probably raged and burned down the hotel I was in. Yeah. So I would have done that, but it wouldn't have surprised me that much. Like, if him or Kadarius Toney would have dropped the freaking ball wide open, I'd have been like, well.
Can you imagine?
There you go.
Imagine that. That'd be sick.
I know, dude. I'd have passed out.
Yeah. Let's see.
I would still be angry somewhere sitting in a corner.
Ben says if LRZ ran high 4.2s, he would be fastest running back in the league. No.
Are you sure?
No, he was saying no, like question mark.
Oh, I thought you said no. Let me
I think he would be.
I thought there was a rookie that come out this year that hit 4.2.
No, I think the fastest guys in the league both play for Miami. It's probably Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane.
Devon Achane.
Like, I think they both ran like low 4.3s though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you may be right with that one. Let me look.
But Raheem Mostert was clocked faster than Tyreek Hill several times. Like when Hill played for the Chiefs and Mostert was playing for the 49ers. Here's the thing. LRZ claims high 4.2s, and he ran a 4.4, so he's probably a 4.3 guy tops, in my opinion. I'll believe a 4.2 when I see it, because that's just not like very common.
Yeah, you're right. Devon Achane, he's 5'8", 188, so that's a big difference between him and LRZ. And also Jahmyr Gibbs, 5'9", 199. Achane ran a 4.32, and Jahmyr Gibbs ran a 4.36. Derrick Henry, by the way, runs a 4.54. Isn't that insane?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's a huge monster. Anyways, the fastest one in the draft that clocked this year was Isaac Garindo, 6 foot 221, 4.33. So that I don't know how big is LRZ? Like, what's his height weight?
I want to say he's around 200, but I don't know. I could go look it up real quick. Let me look. Look up Raheem Mostert. I think he's the fastest running back in the league. What's his 40 time?
Raheem Mostert. Let's go check it out. It says you run a 4.34 at the combine.
Okay. Well,
so
I guess, yeah.
Raheem Mostert. Yeah, Isaac Garindo actually outran Raheem Mostert. That's just a smidge in front of Trey Benson, by the way. Trey Benson ran a 4.35.
I think anything that says 4.3 on it.
Anything 4.3, man, you're flying. So a 4.2, yeah, he would be the fastest more than likely.
Rees Zammit is 194 pounds.
Okay, so he's a good size running back.
He's 6'3".
6'3", dude. That's crazy.
That's what it says, but
that's a tall running back.
Right, he's like my height, but he's like 30 pounds lighter. So it's a big guy.
He's fighting more world wars than you have too.
Been out there in World War II.
Love it.
Feast and famine. You know, he's feasting now, but he's been through it, you know?
Hey, you know what it's time for?
What?
You know what it's time for? You
I
ready?
have an idea.
Hold on to your hats. Here we go.
Tell me where in the world is
K-Wayne.
I knew it.
Yes, it's time for Where in the World is K-Wayne. Mike is up 3 to 1. Oh, my Lord. I have just I'm jumping it. I'm jumping. Look, if I win here, we might call it blowout rules. Might be 10-run rule here.
Shut up.
It's time to go. K-Wayne is in the house. So I hope he's still watching, K-Wayne, because you're going to have to tell us who's right and who's wrong, baby. So Steve, you're still on the losing end. You get to go first.
But that's not how this works.
You want the winner to go first then.
That's
You want
the
me
way
to come
it's
out and just
been.
nail it?
You're trying to change it up.
I can come out and say where I think OK Wayne is, but you'll get mad about it.
I'm thinking. Go ahead.
Look, K Wayne was just in. Where was he at? Orlando or he's in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, I think maybe. I don't
He's
know.
in Jacksonville, I think. Okay. Somewhere down there. So look, odds are he's either still in Florida or it's only been 2 days. He can only get so far. So did he head off towards New Orleans?
You can drive pretty much across the country in 2 days, bro.
No, you can't. You can't even get across Texas in 2 days. Let me tell you something. Steve, K. Wayne, he's a trucker. He's got limits on how much he can drive.
This is true.
Okay? So look, he could possibly have got to Texas by now if he went that way. He could have possibly got to about Arkansas to St. Louis. But I think Kentucky's where it stops in 2 days. Maybe a little higher, maybe Ohio. So we got the East Coast we could probably look at. So I'm going to say...
Hey, Wayne says 1,400 miles in 2 days, bro, so he can roll.
So 700 miles a day about. I don't know about... How long is 1,400 miles?
That's about...
It's about from here to Florida. It takes me about... No, it's about 750. Yeah, I guess he's about right, because I go about 800 miles in 1 day driving.
All right, Mike,
Good
pick
night.
somewhere.
Shut
Quit
up.
stalling and pick a place.
I'm not trying to stall. I'm trying to be...
I already got
analytical.
one in my mind. I'm going with it. I don't care.
Well, go first then.
All right, I'm gonna say Knoxville, Tennessee.
Dang, Knoxville. You know what? You're gonna crap because I was honestly thinking of a Tennessee, and I was gonna say Johnson City, which is literally...
Don't be playing prices right
Close.
with my stuff, bro.
That's a bad one, though, because if he's a little north, you're gonna win it. So look, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say K. Wayne's not that far out of Florida. I say he's gonna head back towards... I'm gonna go Raleigh, South Carolina.
All right.
No, wait, Raleigh's North Carolina. I'm going
Yeah.
to say Charleston, South Carolina. I don't know why I said Raleigh. Charleston, South Carolina. Let's roll.
You put way too much thought into it. I feel like this is why you're up 3-1 because you take this seriously.
I'm taking it serious. I got to get we got a trophy. K. Wayne's face on this.
All right, where you at, K. Wayne? Let us know, buddy.
Come on, K. Wayne. Look, if you're still down in the beaches of Florida,
And you don't have to say where you're actually at if you're Knoxville, Tennessee. You know. K. Wayne
he said too much thinking.
He's probably still sitting in Florida at the beach.
Yeah, he's probably
sipping
at
on
the beach. He may be in frickin' Canada by now.
He's got the little thing of sunscreen on his nose with like a coconut with a straw in it.
He's in Orlando. Mike wins again.
Oh, shut
Let's
up,
go.
bro.
He didn't even go. K. Wayne went like 100 miles.
I don't think this counts since he never moved.
Counts, baby. 4-1. I'm just crushing it. See, this is what happens when you use your noggin.
Got it. Whatever.
Let's go, baby.
I feel
Orlando.
like I got cheated on this one.
K. Wayne, what are you doing in Orlando? You checking out
Universal Studios?
Universal Studios. I went down to Universal one time. They had everything closed, just about. Couldn't even ride ET. I just wanted to ride the ET ride.
Well, too bad.
Daggone.
Where is where's like the whole Star Wars thing? Is that at Disney?
Yeah, but they do have that in Florida. So yeah.
Yep. All right. Well,
I heard they might shut that down actually.
Mike, what else happened at camp today? We got anybody else on the mic today? Anything fun?
Yeah, let's talk about Wiley. Wiley got on the mic a little bit.
Let's talk about Wiley because a lot of people's horned up about Louis Rees Zammit and Xavier Worthy, but I think a lot of people are holding Wiley right there with them. I think a lot of people are excited about Wiley.
Wiley is going to be a monster in this league. He was asked what he's learned from watching Travis Kelce between film and seeing him on the field. He says you can pick up a lot. His knowledge of the game, just knowing what the defense is going to do and how he can kind of manipulate those routes, changing what he's doing to make them think he's doing something else. That's the biggest thing so far for me. So he's saying that with Travis, that's what we were talking about, what Louis Rees Zammit does not have probably is that intuition. Travis has it. He's trying to replicate that. And look, it's easy for Wiley. It's easy for Wiley like that too because he was a high school quarterback. Travis was a high school quarterback. So they know how to read defenses. They know how zones work. They know how, linebackers cheat. They know how safeties will cheat down in the box. They get all this. And believe me, I think that he's going to be able to set up defenses just like Kelsey. And learning from Kelsey for the next 2 years,
Right. I mean,
this could be a seamless transition.
he's learning from the best. So, yeah, I'm excited to see it. And, like, everybody forgets about Noah Gray all the time. And I think Noah's very talented, and you haven't seen a whole lot of what he can do yet. Like, we've seen it in flashes. But, I mean, anyone behind Kelsey, you're not going to get, like, a big dose of. So, we'll see how those two guys play out. But I really like Wiley. I like the idea of him being a big, huge red zone target because we had such red zone troubles last year. So, I mean, I do like that. That kind of reminds me of Jody. When Fortson was here, that's kind of what they wanted to use him for if he could have stayed healthy. But what are you flicking your hat for?
Because I said, when they drafted him, I seen Jody Fortson. That's what I think they're going to use him for. I do believe they're going to use him a lot in the red zone. I think Wiley's going to be a big red zone target.
I think this might sound mean, so no disrespect to Mr. Miami Dolphin himself, but I feel like saying Jared Wiley is Jody Fortson is selling Jared Wiley very, very short.
True.
I think he's a much better put together all around tight end.
Yeah, true, but I'm just saying, like, that's the thing they're going to use him for. He also says this on his mindset of how he approaches the game every day. He said, expectations are obviously super high here in KC. I wake up every morning and I'm like, dude, you cannot have a bad day because everyone here is going to have a great day. And that's true.
It's a good day to have a good day.
It's a good day to have a good day, and you always got to have a good day when you're on the back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Eyeing down the three-peat, horning it up like usual, okay? Every day is a day that you got to come out, you got to grab the bull. Grab the bull by the horn, okay? By the giant horn.
You okay, Mike?
Horn it up. Dude, I'm pumped for Jared Wiley.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Jared Wiley in a second, but I had to take this comment because it seemed like a fun thing to do.
Are you really just going to interrupt my Wiley talk?
I am. I'm putting Wiley on hold for 2 seconds because CW here says top 5 Chief players of all time.
Jared Wiley, number 1. No, I'm joking.
Louis Rees Zammit.
Number 2.
No, for real. Patrick Mahomes, Len Dawson. Then where do you go? What you thinking?
Derek Thomas, maybe.
Yeah.
I think Derek Thomas. Sadly, Derek Thomas is going on the board before Len Dawson, in my opinion.
Well, either way,
I would go Mahomes.
We don't have to put them in order. We'll just
okay,
top
so
5.
that's 3. So you've got 2 more to choose from. I honestly think I'm going to
Jamal
put Kelsey
Charles
on
in
that.
there. I want Jamal Charles in there too. Can we just go them 5? Boom.
I like that, but I mean, you're selling a lot of good players short.
Yeah, Jamal Charles is probably a questionable one for top 5, but I like him so.
Like, honestly, I could see a lot of Chiefs fans saying maybe Eric Berry could get top 5.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot of people that would maybe want to go old school and go Otis Taylor.
Yeah.
Maybe Bobby Bell, somebody like that. I mean, you've got plenty of options. Do you take anybody from the 90s teams?
Like Priest, Tony G.
2000s.
You could go 2 tight ends, take 2 Tony G and Kelsey.
Tony G. Yeah, Tony G. Everybody kind of got mad at him when he left to chase a ring. But, I mean, Chiefs weren't going to help him out with it.
Well, he did say, in your opinion. So I'm going to go with those 5. I'm going to go Mahomes, Dawson, DT, Travis Kelsey, and Jamal Charles. That's where I'm going. Sorry, old guys.
I don't know if I argue it that much.
I'm not that old.
I don't know if I argue it that much. Like, I can't put, like, Joe Montana on the list.
Joe
Montana, like, the dude played for like 2 to 3 years here. Like, I'm not gonna do that. So, and I think it's a little crazy to put. Now, I will say there's like Will Shields. I mean, come on now, Will Shields is an all-timer.
You could go.
There's just so many good guys that you can put in. You know,
you're thinking about it too much. Like the where in the world is Kay Wayne? Just
I'm already done. I'm just going with what you went with.
Jennifer with the 2 bomb. What's up, Jennifer? Good to see you. Appreciate the support. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I think we go those 5. We'll go those 5.
Last, back to Wiley before I was rudely interrupted.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jared Wiley, on what part of his game he wanted to show the most. And he says this. He wants to be a full tight end. He prides himself on being that complete tight end, that either if it's 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 10, he's not coming out of the game. Him and Kelsey going to fight a little bit, huh? He ain't going to come out of the game.
I think Jared Wiley knows his lane here. I think he knows that Travis Kelsey is in the driver's seat. But man, I think it's great that he's catching Kelsey at the. You know, you got like maybe 1, 2, 3 more good years of Kelsey. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just something froze. I didn't know if it's my end or your end, so I'm just sitting here just being still.
Oh, I don't know, but everything's fine over here as far as I know. But no, I think it's cool that Jared Wiley, being the type of guy that he is, like he kind of flew under the radar in the draft, and I feel like they kind of stole him when they drafted him because no one really had their eye on him. I mean, hell, Mike, me and you had talked about him a little bit, but we really didn't. We were kind of thinking more Jatavion Sanders, something like that. That's what the Chiefs
Brett
might
Veach
try to
pulled
go
a fast
for.
one.
Yeah, he did. So
He was the only tight end I think he did not publicly speak with.
right, which is usually how you kind of figure out who the Chiefs are going to pick, right? Like who have they talked to the most? Because they normally don't hide their cards too much when it comes to the draft. Like they'll pretty much if they're visiting with them, they're interested. So. I don't know. It's cool though. I think that Wiley could be that successor to Kelsey. That Noah Gray's going to probably fall victim to timing, because I think Noah Gray could have very well been that, but he was drafted. He just got in the league a little too early.
Yeah, I mean, I think Noah Gray can play. I just don't know if he's going to be signed long term when Jared Wiley, I think, is going to have such a decent impact.
I mean, he could just keep doing the role he's been doing for years.
I guess. Hey, we got some camp pictures out today, so let's just scroll through these and check it out. Look at these big uglies out here.
These sexy men right here. Look at
Hunter
that.
Norzad.
Got a couple of freaking Head and Shoulders models right in the
Look
middle.
at these guys right here. We got Alex Gubna.
Hello, Gubna.
Check him out. Dude, look at those rocks on him. That big defensive tackle out of Montana.
He's like the
a
corn-fed
monster.
strong kind of guy. He don't look ripped, but he could throw you across the room.
What the world's he tackling out here? A quad? Is that what it says on it?
I feel like he's got like that hidden strength, kind of like you and Garrett. If you guys know the Hung Dritz that is on our live stream sometimes, you guys are like that. You don't look all ripped or anything, but like y'all have like that.
It's called anger.
Maybe.
I guess. There's our boy Jared Wiley just getting a ride on the golf cart, getting out of there. We had Patrick out here with the tongue out. We know he was about to throw something. Looks like he's about to throw something about 2 yards. That's good. Andy's somewhere laughing at him.
I'm excited about this guy, dude.
Yeah. This kid has been he's balled out for the past 2 days and all the way back in the mandatory in the rookie camp too.
We talked about Jared Wiley being a steal in the draft.
Yeah.
Hicks was absolutely a steal in the draft.
Hicks could be nasty.
Yeah.
Worthy, we've already talked about him. He's making some decent catches. And look, I will say this though, he's dropping a few too. I want to say one of the first balls again to him was a drop, and I don't know what his deal is, but get it
Not
together.
worried about it.
We got PTSD out here. Najee looking good.
I'm wondering how he's going to be back from that knee
We got
injury.
the punt god out here. Isn't it crazy? Like when they go to punt, they literally bend that back knee like that, like straight up.
It looks like he's doing a little dance move right now. Like if you had to put an audio sound to this picture, what would it be?
Jeez.
Would it kind of be like the little Michael Jackson sound, like a hee?
Maybe.
Yeah.
What's he doing with his hands?
That's what I'm saying. I get the little feel of the Michael Jackson sound. I don't know.
I just find it amazing. Like
onward,
that leg.
onward.
We got just more pictures here. We got check this one out. We got some DBs. You can see Kamal Hadden moving a little bit. Look at that hip turn from Kamal Hadden up there.
I'm excited about him too. I wonder if he's going to be able to make the 53 man because it's just so loaded. But
I mean, here's Jaden Hicks. Pretty good hip turn out of Hicks too, man. He's very fluid in the hips.
Everybody wants to talk about Jamari Conner coming up playing that slot. I think Hicks is a contender for that as well.
Yeah, he can do it, man. You also seen Miller. Miller, I forget what college he come out of, but it's a UDFA rookie. He's right here, running right with him. I forget where he come out of, but he has pretty much mirrored him the whole way.
Oh,
kid can move.
What is his name? I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's not been talked about a lot. And then, of course, we had a little Xavier Worthy action. I may have already played this clip. We'll watch it again.
Can't have enough, baby.
Xavier moves pretty well. He really does. And then this has got the clip of Kingsley here working a little bit, and it's got
also
Sheets.
One of the most important camp battles out there.
There's Kyle
by
Sheets.
the way.
the 6'4" dude, monstrous. And then this is Devin Culp, I believe, tight end. So
he don't give a sheet.
yeah, I mean it's been fun. It's gonna pick up when all the guys actually get in there. So we're gonna have one more day of just kind of like going against air. But other than that, man, it's been pretty fun.
Yeah. So hey, I'm just glad the camp's kicked off. Right, we're getting to football. That's all we've been wanting. We've been talking about how long and boring this offseason has felt. And it's been a lot of bad stuff. So it's good to see positive things like the team actually at St. Joe getting in some work. So I'm just happy about it. It's fun just to check every day and just kind of see the progression the guys are making, see what Andy has to say about things. It's always fun when you get to hear Andy at camp because you'll get a little bit more of an idea of maybe where his head's at. Veach kind of hid all last camp, didn't he? He just came out and talked like once because everybody was – like wanting to hear about, Felix and those type of guys. And
Veach straight up just hit out last year.
Yeah, he was in hiding. I think it was because everybody was expecting him to sign a wide receiver, and he didn't do it. It almost bit him in the ass, but he got out scot-free, baby. He got out scot-free with that Super Bowl win.
He did, man. I think that.
Hey, can we revisit that? Do you remember when I tweeted around Halloween last year?
Yeah, I remember it.
And I said that if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year, that Brett Veach is got to be like the luckiest guy ever because he has neglected the wide receiver room. And everyone got so mad about it.
Man,
but was I not right?
Though, huh?
Was I not right?
Yeah, Pat carried.
Yeah, Pat carried. Pat's always going to carry because that's what he does. Heck yeah, baby. We got a 20 bomb from Amy Casey. Let's go. She took over the top dono spot, Mike, if you want to update that. Appreciate the support, Amy. You guys put some legendaries in the chat for her. Absolutely appreciate that. Yeah, some other ways you guys can support the channel is just by hitting the like button, subscribing if you haven't subscribed. You can go to patreon.com/allchieftUp. That's a $1 membership, $1 per month. We got some bonus footage. We got a video getting ready to drop over there. We'll also be giving away stuff. We just gave away a signed Will Shields jersey to one of the patrons this month. We need to start promoting it a little better for these last 2 weeks, but we are going to give away a signed Tony Richardson jersey to one of the patrons. So if you get over to patreon.com/allchieftUp, just sign up. It's just $1 a month. You'll get bonus stuff and like videos, things like that, and then we'll be giving away something once a month over there. So
well, Tony Richardson,
you can do that. And if you would like, you can become a member here on YouTube, be part of the ACU crew, and we'll be giving away stuff there too. Mike, I think we know what we want to give away for our members only in August, but we haven't discussed it, so I don't want to just put it out there. So, but we got some good stuff to give away.
I don't even remember, so I'm glad you remember. Jessica, she asked, do we watch the Olympics?
I don't.
I mean,
I will if it's on.
If I'm bored and it's on, I'll watch it. But
I don't keep up with it. I couldn't tell you anything about it. So
I remember there was always a girl that used to run for. She was at UK and she was super fast. I remember watching her in the Olympics last year. Well, not last year, but the last time they had them. I don't remember her name now. It's not Sha'Carri Richardson, is it? She didn't go to UK. I don't think.
I don't know, Mike. I just told you I don't keep up with none of it. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Steve. You got to get it together.
Bryant Williamson says he's got one of those from Chiefs bids. What'd you get, a Tony Richardson jersey?
Let's go.
You don't have the customized ACU signed Tony Richardson jersey, though.
Do you? You could.
Pretty sure he only did it once. I think he's only done it once. Unless some other slapnuts out there have him signed.
If you just ask him to put it on there, he'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him to draw a picture of a smiley face on it.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that, but Kay Wayne says, hey, guys, I got you some more jerseys. Let's freaking go.
No way. That's sweet.
Can't wait to see what you got, Kay Wayne. You're the man, by the way. I got my Bobby Boucher jersey up there. Tried it on the other day.
I'm ready to bust that out soon. Yeah. I think I'm going to bust it out in the next live.
Yeah, why not?
Bobby Boucher.
I have a chef hat over here I could be wearing. I'm not wearing. I don't know why. But speaking of, Mike, go ahead and show them. We teamed up with Trey Smith and Foco to sell these grill sets. So you get the hat, the apron, and the mitt, $75. Just click the link down in the description. You can get the whole set, or you can piece it out if you just want one of them. But, yeah, you can do that.
Little Trey Smith smoking the meat.
A little ACU Trey Smith action. You can't beat it.
You know what that does for me?
He has an erection.
I love the fact that he never says the whole word.
The other day, I could have swore it said it all, and I was like, what happened?
It's in your brain, Mike.
I know. I guess so. I can't believe I'm up in Where in the World's K. Wayne 4-1 right now. I mean, that's a good day.
Cheating.
It's a good day. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for all the stuff that we got going. I think it's going to be fun. I want to see. I'm not for sure when they put the pads on. Like, that's always the pivotal moment of camp, right? Like, it's fun.
Of course.
But once
Right.
they get those pads on, you're like, let's go.
Especially for the big uglies, and that's going to be one of the most watched things this camp is left tackle. So I mean, we're really going to get to see what they can do. I'm excited about that because I don't know, man. I've just had this hunch ever since we started watching tape of the tackles for the draft, and of course, like you had mentioned before, we were kind of on Kingsley Suamataia far ahead of a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And he's always just impressed me from day one. I loved what I saw. And I just have this gut feeling like he might be our left tackle going forward. So we'll see. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of where I'm at with it. I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, me too. Lots of good camp battles. But yeah, I'm going to... Sorry, I was checking something. Trying to see if somebody had sent me an address so I could send out some stuff. Iron Prize, still going to send out your stuff. And by the way, who won our last top donor on Tuesday? Do you remember?
No, but you can watch the replay, right?
I'm going to have to. I don't remember who it was that won it, but I'm going to get your stuff out this week too. So appreciate you guys sticking with me. It's just been busy.
It was time.
As soon as football gets back. Oh, yeah, it was Ty. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as soon as football gets back, like camp and stuff, dude, it is all day, every freaking day. Never ends.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of work. Andrew says he'd be excited if they signed a right tackle. We overpaid one already. That's something, too. A lot of people have talked about Juwan Taylor not being good. I think that's like a huge misconception, don't you? You think he's going to have like a way better year this year because he don't have like the giant target on his back that Collinsworth put on him last year?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a lot better. I think he's going to be settled in. I think he's going to know the offense a little better. He's going to know how Patrick moves.
More
the pocket
familiar
a little
with,
more.
yeah, agreed.
I think he'll be fine. Like, I really do. Yeah, Ray, Marvelous Mike won the Shields jersey. We've yet to hear from Marvelous Mike.
We're going to get, let's say, I'd say if Marvelous Mike doesn't claim that thing by the time we're doing our next one, we give it away too.
Might have to. And they'll be cheering against Marvelous Mike, though.
No, but if anybody knows that guy or sees him out there, let him know, because that would suck for him. He got the signed Dante Hall jersey, correct? Cindy Jennings, our girl Cindy, won the signed Will Shields jersey.
Yes.
On Patreon. So that's cool.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah, I mean, if he don't claim it, we'll just give it away with the next one. And of course, the more we grow the ACU crew, which is the members, we'll be able to give away more stuff on each one too. So.
Yep, 100%. But everybody, get your questions in. Get your last few questions. We're going to be here for just a few more minutes, and then we're going to bail out. Camp questions, anything, we'll answer them. We'll be on here for just a few more. But we appreciate you guys being here. And, yeah, hit that like button right now, too. Hit the like button. For some reason, I have a sense that we're under 100 likes. I could be wrong. And if we are, we need to be over 100 for sure. But appreciate you guys watching. By the way,
I don't know if this is right, but it says 99, by the way.
I don't know. Facebook, X, watchers, appreciate you guys too as well. Trying to grow those platforms a little bit.
They're tough. Tough nut to crack.
Yeah, get some more viewers in here and get the fan bases mingling and the ACU crew mingling up. So
if you're not one of 4 people on X, it's tough to crack in there. They got like 4 people that do Chief stuff. It's almost like they drew 4 random people out of a hat and they're like, these are the leaders of Chiefs Kingdom on X.
Follow.
Yeah, it's like, okay, whatever.
A little bit.
Yep. Let's see. Andrew says, have you talked about never having to watch Skip Bayless on TV again? That's exciting. I did see where he was, I guess, done. I don't know. I guess they dropped him. They're like, we're done with you. You suck.
What did Skip do? Was he on Fox?
FS1.
Oh, FS1. Okay.
It was the show that he had with Shannon before he
What's
quit.
it called? Interrupted, Uninterrupted? Am I thinking of the right guy?
Probably not. How do you not
What are you
know
thinking
Skip
of Colin
Bayless?
Cowherd? Well, because, dude, everybody that talks about sports media on ESPN is an idiot, just about. Like, they all have the worst take.
Undisputed? Was that what it was called?
Yeah, that might be it.
Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
The only one that has decent takes is Nick Wright, and Nick Wright is literally just a Chiefs homer.
He's a giant homer, yeah.
Like, he'll just say whatever, and then because the Chiefs just keep proving him right,
I'll tell you what.
he loves
Like, the
it,
only
but-
reason why we like Nick's takes about the Chiefs because we're Chiefs fans. But if you get outside of Chiefs football, if you go to anything else, Nick Wright's slapnut.
Could you imagine Nick Wright, though, if like he was like a Bills fan, how annoying he would be to listen to him?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, you can always be that annoying guy, I guess. But, yeah. I mean, cool. Nick's about the only guy that will stick up for the Chiefs because everybody else acts like a slap nut.
I think people are trying to come around to it. I saw on the show with LaShawn McCoy and all those guys, Acho and all of them, they were talking about the Chiefs being a dynasty now, and basically all four of them were just on there like, why are you even trying to argue with this at this point? Like, accept it. Like, it is what it is. And they all had this is what they all had to say about it too, was if you're one of those Chiefs haters, you might as well buckle your seatbelt because they're just getting started. So
But this team's better this year.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. This team is better. Brett Veach has fixed the wide receiver room. Now, I wouldn't say fixed. He's improved the wide receiver room. But the defense, look,
Fixed
Snead
is
was a big loss. Snead was a big loss.
Yeah, fixed is yet to be determined on the wide receivers, right?
That's true, but I still think you can't. Dude, it's going to take.
He definitely improved it.
It's going to take an amazing effort from these idiots if they look worse than last year.
Real quick, one more thing on Skip Bayless. He kind of, like, all that came out, and he had to say something extremely stupid. Like, he had to pull out, like, his worst take yet just to, like, kind of justify that they're dropping him and he sucks. He came out and said that if in clutch time, he's taking Caleb Williams over Patrick Mahomes all day.
Who said that?
Skip Bayless. Like, what the hell are we talking about here? So
What
you
do
would
mean
take a
clutch
guy
time? He's never even played in the NFL a snap.
That's my point, bro.
And Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls.
This guy's made an entire career off of saying stuff that he don't believe just to
Off
get a
just
rise
being
out of
an
people.
idiot?
Yeah.
I hate it. Dude, I don't even want to do it. Dude, if my job was to come on here every day and say something stupid just to try to get a click,
You would do it. If you
I'm
got paid
not
as much
doing it.
if you got paid as much as Skip Bayless, you would.
I don't know if I would. Dude.
I'd make up the craziest crap every day.
Should we do
I'm
it?
Sorry.
I think that's what the people want. You know, Skip gets somewhere. That's the thing. People always, they hate on things. You know what I mean? Like, Skip's an idiot. Skip's this, Skip's that. Everybody. Sucks. But what's funny is these people prop up the biggest idiots in the world, and they're the ones that blow up out of their
Right.
ass. It's
Dude,
the way it
it's-
always is.
Man, it's that way from like ESPN all the
everybody
way down to
dude.
yeah.
Everybody absolutely dogs and hates our boy that showed up to Chew of the Crew last year, Lance. Every time he posts something on Twitter, it is just a downright crap show of people saying how stupid he is. But the dude's got tons of followers, so it just shows the more engagement farming you can get out of people, they'll just blow you up. You don't have to be smart.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't even have to know anything about football.
You
Never
have
have
to
to play a snap.
you just have to know how to push people's buttons, right?
It's crazy, dude. And then everybody just complains about it when it happens, and it's like, you made this.
You did it, Julia.
did
No, I'm hoping for a girl. I'm hoping for a girl, Julia.
For Mahomes,
Yeah, I think it goes Sterling, Bronze, and then back to the girl, like back and forth. Make it even. He said he's done after 3, though. You think he's done?
I think you think maybe he's going to try to have a kid for every Super Bowl ring?
He's a little horned up. I don't know if he's done or not.
He needs to chill out. I don't know. I didn't know Blue Chew sponsored Pat, but it's a secret, and I think the secret's out now.
It might be. Bryant says, no boy.
No boy.
Man, that was so funny.
No. We almost got demonetized.
Whatever.
Straight up.
I felt bad for Bryant because I feel like we obviously know that's not what he meant, and like everybody just lost it.
Was Bryant the one that said it?
I think it was.
I don't remember. I didn't even catch it until you start laughing, and then I'm like, dude, you got to
Well, it's
quit.
because we have assholes in our chat like Julia that's out there.
I know.
Her and Kay Wayne, they love stirring the pot. That's why we love them, but
Just
it's hard to
stir.
keep. Brian said, sorry, boys.
It's funny, dude.
Hey, it made for a good time, so it's all good.
No, it's funny. Yeah, it just come out the wrong way. Or better yet, isn't it when you like super chat, they only give you a limited amount of characters. So some people try to get it all in there and it just gets strange. But yeah. Somebody asked again about the receiver. Oh, it was
Who?
Ian. Ian 16. He asked about the new receiver, Kyle Sheets. And we talked about him earlier, but well, I'll say something again about him. He's, like you said, he's big body. He catches everything. He high points well. He runs about a 4.5. I think he ran a 4.52 at Temple's Pro Day. He actually had to, because he's Division II, they don't have a Pro Day at Slippery Rock. So he showed up at Temple's Pro Day. And I want to say Slippery Rock. Is Slippery Rock Division II? Is that in Pennsylvania somewhere? I think it's near Pittsburgh, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Dude, my football knowledge is vast, but I don't think it's vast on
Yeah,
that.
it's in Pennsylvania.
Well, daggone, maybe it is more vast than I thought.
Good call.
It's up there. But, yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think he's basically a camp body. I'm not going to get horned up over it.
I wish we were had the money and resources of Joe Rogan. Like, we could just be like, hey, man, can you look up Slippery Rock for me? Like, we need that guy.
Yeah, we need a third party here that can just, like, look up stuff.
We need somebody that's running the entire show, changing camera angles.
That's a good idea.
Doing everything, and then we can tell them to look stuff up.
Editing it? I don't even want to do anything anymore. I just want to show up and talk.
We're tired of working all the time, man.
I just want to show up and talk.
What is this work stuff?
What is this, man? Sam Lofton said it's near Mossy Point. Okay, now you got me, because I have no idea where Mossy Point is.
I don't know. A Slippery Rock, Mossy Point, I think he's just making a joke, Mike. It'd be my guess. Chiefer says, can we do a poll? So, yeah, we're getting ready to get out of here soon, but we can do a poll if you tell us what you want to poll. We can do it real quick. We can do it. You just have to tell us what we're doing, Chiefer.
Chiefer, you pick the poll, and we'll poll it up for about 5 minutes, see who wins.
You horned up for the poll, Mike?
No, I'm not horned for many polls in life.
So, I guess going forward this week, it's today's what? Wednesday, Thursday?
Today's Thursday, bro.
What are they doing tomorrow? They got practice?
Tomorrow's just, it's more of the same. They'll talk to the media probably around, they keep saying it's going to be around 12, but they keep going early. Because today I clicked on at 12 and they'd already got through all of Hunter Norzad, I believe.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing.
Chiefer says Connor or Williams.
Okay, so like who's going to be the breakout corner this year?
Let's do it. I'll make a poll real quick. We'll do a poll, and then we'll go have dinner. Let's see. I haven't done a poll, and so, dude, I heard somebody yelling in the background, Mike. What's happening at your house?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I feel like there's a murder going on. Like I heard someone scream, and then I heard the dog barking.
Me too. You know what? It don't concern me.
It doesn't concern you?
I'm right here. Just talking Chiefs. I don't care.
All right. I'm just going to make it who's going to be the breakout corner for the Chiefs this year. Is it going to be Josh Williams? Is it going to be Chamari Connor? How's it Cooner? Or like how's he spell his name?
Connor? I think it's just with an E, isn't it? Chamari?
E? Sure. And then I'm going to add Jalen.
I could be completely wrong.
I'm going to add Watson in there. Because I think it could be him. Or we'll go ahead and let's put a rookie in there too, just in case he were to make the squad. Boom.
Which one? Come on.
Yeah. So they're on there. The poll is up. Go vote on the poll. Connor can play down in the slot.
Who's getting murdered?
Yeah, somebody.
Oh.
It's okay. Yeah, Chief Kelsey says Connor can play down in the slot. Absolutely he can. I think he's going to do that a lot. I think, like I was saying earlier, I think that you might see Hicks doing that some as well. Like, you have to. A lot of people have to remember. Like, I see where Sam says Chamari Connor is a safety, which is true. But I think a lot of people have to remember. So was L'Jarius Sneed.
So was Hicks.
So, well, yeah, I just talked about that. But Nazi Johnson, he was a safety.
Yeah, I think with Spag's system, they like it to go.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of corners
Yeah.
in the league probably played safety at one point, you know. So, I'm. Who are you picking out of those four, Mike? I guess that's the question. You pick one of those four. Who do you think's more likely to be like the breakout star? I think Shamari Connor kind of showed everybody what he is last year, that he's got a lot of potential. I think Josh Williams will be the most surprising for people, in my opinion. I think he could now. Will he do it? I don't know, but I think if he's got the opportunity to break out and just everybody be like, "Damn, this dude, where'd he come from?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Josh Williams has potential. He's got everything. Like, he's been in the system now for 2 years. So is Jalen Watson. But to me, I think Williams has more like locked down like intangibles than Watson, right? Watson just come on the scene that time that he picked six the Chargers there,
Right.
But I feel like Josh Williams has a lot more of the intangibles that I would want in a corner. He's long, he's fast, he's athletic, he can jump out of the roof. He gets his head around pretty good. He tackles okay. He's physical. I mean, he can do everything you need to do. Shamari Connor again, but I don't think Shamari Connor is going to just flat out come in and do anything but play nickel. It's like they're not going to line him up on the outside or anything. I like Najee Johnson as well, but I think my pick would be Josh Williams this year. I think Josh Williams could be that next guy in line to be nasty.
I'm kind of thinking that too, man. He's got the build, he's got the speed, and plus he's kind of like he's been kind of just hiding in the shadows, sort of. Like, he's come out there and performed really well, but I think more people would tend to go with Jalen Watson because he shined a little bit more. Like, he was starting for a while, and like you said, that pick six and everything. But yeah, I saw where somebody said McDuffie, but like, I don't think McDuffie's going to break out. I think everybody already knows McDuffie is an absolute monster.
Yeah, he's there already.
Like, so they actually put out the top NFL corners, and McDuffie was definitely on that list. Now, I do think he got shafted on the positioning. Let me find that list real quick. First of all, they put out Patrick Surtain as number one, which I thought was wild. So they had him at number one. Number two was who was it? Denzel Ward. They had Sauce Gardner at 3, L'Jarius Sneed at 4, and they had Jalen Ramsey at number 5 in front of Trent McDuffie. Like, when are they going to give up the Jalen Ramsey hype? Because he's never been as good as they think he is, and he's definitely not now. Like, are they ever going to give up on that guy?
No. That's the short answer, no. Not until he retires. Did you know in the Super Bowl, by the way, I just found this interesting. In the Super Bowl, L'Jarius Sneed allowed a 62.5 passer rating when targeted throughout the entire season. And he allowed the 5th lowest passer rating allowed among all quarterbacks in the entire season, right? In the Super Bowl, he had a PFF grade of a 73.7. Pretty good, right? Did you know Josh Williams actually outscored him, according to PFF, in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I knew that.
75.6.
I think all the playoffs he outscored him. I could be mistaken.
And
you have to remember, it's a smaller sample size too.
But still, that proves that they can do it. Josh Williams, by the way, only missed 4.3% of his tackle attempts throughout the season, which turned out to be the 6th lowest percentage among all corners. So the dude can straight up lock down when it comes to that. Shamari Connor, by the way, in the Super Bowl, graded out at an 80.5. And it says he allowed just 8.6 yards per reception in coverage throughout the entire 2023 season, 11th lowest among all safeties as a rookie. So I do believe the Chiefs are in capable hands here post L'Jarius Sneed. Like, a lot of people still act like this is a big deal.
Yeah,
like, man, we're going to take a step back so far. You may take a little step back, but I think it's only going to be for just a little bit, and then it's going to kick forward.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that usually how all these defenses go? I mean, to be quite honest about it. Like with Spags, they always start a little slow and then they pick up towards the end because you got a lot of new faces and a lot of younger guys that are still picking up on the scheme. And I don't know. I think they're just fine without it. But let's take a look at this. If you haven't voted in the poll, you might want to go do that because I'm about to close her down. Looks like right now, I can't get it to open up. Chamari Connor's leading, but this is like a very, very close one. Y'all go vote on that. I'll give you about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to close that out and get out of here. But
I don't think there's a wrong answer.
I don't either, but I was just interested.
Yeah, because
to see what
I honestly believe. Look, if you think Jalen Watson's the best out of the group, you've got an argument. If you think Najee could be the best, you've got an argument. If you think, Josh Williams, if you think Chamari Connor, you've got arguments here. Like, I think all these guys are solid. And I think Jaden Hicks is going to be solid. I think Kamal Haddon's going to be a beast. I don't know how you're going to get Kamal Haddon on the roster, to be honest.
It's going to be tough, isn't it? Which is
Unless
crazy.
you take 6 corners, which you very well could. With these new kickoff rules, you're going to have guys that are going to excel on special teams, going to be sure tacklers. And Josh Williams is that. He's a sure tackler. He only missed 4.3% of his tackles. That's 4 tackles out of 100 he missed. So
right.
The dude can tackle. And I'm pretty sure Kamal Haddon can tackle too. He tackles with his head down.
Yeah, I don't know. If you watch his tape,
he blew his shoulder up.
He definitely shuts down the screen game. That's for sure. I think he's going to be good
Isn't
too.
it crazy?
Man.
We talked about that the whole entire time, where we was scouting in the college players before the draft. He shuts down screens all day long, but when they ran at him, a liability. So how are you physical on one?
I think it's just
it's got to be the body not on him. Like he recognizes the play faster.
That's what it is.
Pass.
He diagnoses plays quickly, like as far as screens go.
Well, diagnose that daggone run play.
All right, shutting it down, baby. Shutting it down. It looks like it's going to end at 35% Chamari Connor, 22% for Williams and Watson, 19% for Haddon. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It'll be exciting to watch.
It's another good. Haddon pulled in 19% of that vote and wasn't that far off from Williams and Watson. It's pretty amazing to me.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, this is
considering we've never seen him take a snap in the league.
Yeah, true. This is for K Wayne, by the way.
Suck it, suck it. They got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Yeah, suck it.
Suck it. K Wayne says Dion wouldn't tackle either. No, that's true. I don't know if he's got cover skills with Dion, but hey.
I guess we'll find out. But I appreciate you guys watching today. Hit that like button on your way out if you haven't already. We'll be back maybe with a live tomorrow. We're not for sure yet. We were trying to get a little extra one in, just hang out some more, but we'll see. Also, get over there and watch. Mike's been putting out a lot of short content, so get over and watch all that stuff. Some good shorts, a good little wrap up, like 1 minute wrap up of camp. I thought that was pretty cool. So hopefully he'll be doing that every day that they're practicing because it was pretty cool. But yeah, appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you next time.
Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.